I've been searching for you. Can you hear my voice calling from the streets? Deep calls unto deep. The purpose of your heart is deep waters, but a wise woman of understanding will draw it out of you. Come, drink from the fountain of wisdom, for my treasures are more valuable than rubies or gold. For I give long life, honor, and you receive favor from the Most High God. I've been waiting for you. Hi, welcome back to WOW, Wise Woman on Wisdom. I'm Judah Jackson, the host and content creator. Excuse me, I had unplanned a couple months of a sabbatical, but I'm back and we will continue where we left off, which is the book review of Finding the Love of Your Life, 10 Principles for Finding the Right Marriage Partner. And by right, we mean compatible. Dr. Warren says that compatibility is the key to a healthy relationship. It's the mate selection, choosing the right one. So last time I posted, we completed Principle 4, which is get yourself healthy before you marry. And health is a holistic concept, but we targeted the mental and the emotional health. We learned that the foundation of mental health is self-concept, and that is formed in you by your caretakers. You had no control of who they were. If they were healthy, they got the love that they needed and their needs were met. Probably they loved you and your needs was met, and you turned out to be a confident person with high self-esteem. If your caretakers, on the other hand, had some challenges, their needs weren't met and they didn't get the love that they needed, then probably they pass that on to you, and you might have now low self-esteem and poor self-confidence. And we looked at some of the major mental health to help you evaluate not only a potential partner, but more importantly, yourself. And two of the main categories of mental illness is neuroses and psychoses, being neurotic and psychotic. And it's on a continuum. It's from mild to severe. And if you find yourself having some of these characteristics, don't despair, because you can work through them and heal. God is a healer. He will restore your soul. So if you haven't seen that video, I strongly urge you to watch it on my channel under the list Soulmates from Dating to Courtship. So today we're going to be on Principle 5. We're halfway there, which is finding a love you can feel deeply in your heart and expressing it carefully. When you think about romance or falling in love, you might think of a lot of the parodies or the comic strips out there, even love songs about love. And it's humorous, but it actually has a lot of truth. Dr. Warren shared about the comic strip Calvin and Hobbes, where Calvin asked Hobbes, "What's it like to fall in love?" Hobbes says, "Well, it's like when you see your object of affection, your heart falls in your stomach. Then you start sweating profusely, and all the water you're losing, it makes you woozy. And then when you open your mouth, you babble uncontrollably when you try to talk to her. That's what it's like to be in love." Although that sounds funny, it's really close to the truth, because research has confirmed that falling in love and attraction has a lot of biochemical reactions, and it acts really dramatically on the brain. What happens is that like a cocktail, multiple neurotransmitters, and neurotransmitters simply are just chemical messengers. That's how the brain communicates with the rest of the body. They communicate through the nervous system to the rest of the body. So that's huge. I'm going to pause right there. Your brain and your whole body is involved in this. So one of the key neurotransmitters is dopamine. And dopamine is called the feel-good hormone. It's neurotransmitter / hormone, because it helps you feel good, pleasure. It is related to the pleasure center. And then the other is oxytocin. It's called the happy hormone. And it helps you trust, feel love and positive emotions, It helps you bond, and even is connected with reproduction. And then one of the final three is noradrenaline. You already know when you hear the word adrenaline. And this causes feelings in love, and it causing the fight or flight response. And it triggers these strong emotions like the heart rate, the sweaty palms, the rapid breathing. And so it's powerful. Don't underestimate it. It is powerful. It is an ecstatic high feeling. And when two people are in love, they want to be together because of this high. It's almost like floating. Now, what is the purpose of this passion? Now, this wild passion at a climax does not last throughout the relationship or the marriage. However, it does serve several purposes, and it's about 5 or 6 purposes for passion. One, it causes two people to focus on building a relationship. It's like the glue to help them commit to the work of building a relationship. One. Another is realization that you found someone who can satisfy some of your deepest needs and desires. And then 3, it satisfies our sense of self to know that other people find us attractive and desirable and lovable. And then another is being accepted and valued just the way you are is a powerful experience. Also, it helps you fall in love with yourself because someone else loves you. Now, there's empirical research that indicates that mate selection partially is designed to reinforce our own self-esteem. We love this person partially because the validation makes us feel good about ourselves. Now, research studies also show that it's a powerful healing agent. It's very therapeutic, love. It can begin to help heal you in many ways. Now, a passionate relationship with the opposite sex sometimes is just what people need to feel that it's valid, that they're lovable, and that it's legitimate to feel good about yourself. Now, let's look at the difference between like and love. Sometimes two people are compatible, they get along and they like each other, but there's no chemistry or no passion. Now, a friendship, it could grow into a marriage, and passion could develop later. However, if the passion is not there, there's no emotional sparks, a deeper relationship can't be forced. Dr. Warren and his colleagues found of years of studying and counseling couples that it's difficult for them to build a successful marriage when one or both partners are not attracted to each other. Now, here's some cautions of this powerful passion you have to beware of. Although God designed our bodies to experience these passionate feelings and to respond with love, we must exercise extreme caution in the early euphoric stages of the relationship of how we express these emotions. As stated, passion can literally alter our brain and short-circuit our reason because the various biochemical changes that are overriding our brains and our common sense and reasoning ability. Passionate love can make or break a relationship. If both persons in love do not use conscious self-control, the euphoric feeling can lead to expressing it in ways that can be dangerous and damaging to the relationship. Now, I know we're coming to the $64 million question. Do you have sex before marriage? Now, reminder, this video is about waiting on God and the soulmate that He has for you. So I'm coming from the perspective of Holy Matrimony. And if you want God's results, which is being in a fulfilling, rewarding relationship where you build each other up and you can support each other to fulfill God's mission for both of you in your life, you want those results, it's important to do it God's way. So God requires sexual abstinence during dating and courtship. Only after marriage is sex permitted in God's plan. So why? Why is this? Well, first, the obvious that I've just talked about. You can't even reason and think about this being the right person because your brain is not operating. I mean, just over the attraction and falling in love alone. So if you physically consummate your relationship and your spirits begin to blend and you get that soul tie, it will be very difficult to see if this is not the right person, and you will make a poor choice, very likely. So, and second, and most importantly, is the spirituality. Disobeying God's laws and violating your covenant with God, it's a sin. And don't make light of sin, because the wages of sin are death. Romans 6:23. And the death starts with the relationship. It begins to destroy the relationship. And it separates you from God and his kingdom. Now, 1 Corinthians 6:9-11. That's a very good one. Always go already to 18, but it's a very good one to read. But it says, do you know that the unrighteous will not inherit the kingdom of God? Now, it lists like maybe 10 different types of sin or categories of sin. About 4 of them are sexual sins. They're fornication, idolatry, which is not necessarily a form of sexual sin, but it's in there as well. Adultery and homosexuality. These are all 4 types of sexual sin that will separate you from the kingdom. And third, it destroys the body itself. 1 Corinthians 6:18 says, every sin a man commits is outside the body, but sexual sin destroys the body. It sins against your own body. An example of this is AIDS. Now, AIDS is caused by the HIV virus, and it attacks your defenses, your immune system. Very few people die from AIDS, but the defenses are torn down, and a cold or some other complications will kill them. So a lot of people you'll hear that said they died from complications from AIDS. Your very defenses are torn down. It tears down the body. So remember that. Now, these are my caveats. He didn't get into scripture, Pastor Warren, but I'm elaborating on the spiritual aspect. Now, recognize, though, we are in the last days, and so there is an agenda to promote sexual sin and to attack marriage and family. And if you want to know about the wickedness, go to 2 Timothy 3:1-11. It talks about people being selfish, people being cruel, people hating good, and all this is going on now. The last 40 years or so, the morality in the United States have just declined, has taken a nosedive. I mean, sexual sin is being perverted on TV, movies, magazines, billboards, school curriculums, and some so-called churches. So the drive is out there. It's a systematic attack on the marriage. The marriage is the foundation of the family. The family is the foundation of society. And this is also contributes to poor mate selection. Because once you're all blinded, you're all caught up, you know, you got the sex, you got that soul tie going, you're not going to see if this is the wrong person. You're not going to do it, and you might go ahead and marry them. So don't believe the lie. Sex outside of marriage is not acceptable, and it doesn't have to be inevitable. That's the lie, that is acceptable and inevitable. That's a lie. Sex outside of marriage is sin, and it breaks the commandments for God. And God measures your love for him by the way you keep his commandments. He said, if you love me, keep my commandments. That's John 14:15. So it's here. God created us for it. This passion's going on. So how can you express it? It's there. All right? So 5 principles. First, respect and accept that passionate love is a vital part to an enduring relationship. 2, recognize passionate love always involves strong physical attraction. It is a fundamental part of our biological makeup. A lack of desire for intimacy is a red flag raised, it should be a red flag raised in your mind if any partner does not have a desire. 3, manage physical involvement with extreme care by setting agreed upon boundaries and strongly defined boundaries. And there has to be self-discipline implemented to maintain these limits. One that comes to mind is, it's not a good idea to go over your boyfriend, girlfriend house and be alone in their personal space. I think that's a good boundary not to have. I mean, a good boundary to have is not to do that. 4, understand every progression of physical activities establishes a new plateau. You're going to want more, just like a drug. Making it extremely difficult. Each level of sexual experience is so satisfying that immediately rewarding, you're going to go higher. And it's nearly impossible to be satisfied by previous levels of involvement. So we have to keep that in mind. Just like the song Addicted to Love. Number 5, know that sexual expression is not, if it's not kept in check, the emotional, cognitive, and spiritual aspects of a relationship will become a slave to the physical desires. Although passionate love is an important element in marriage, it alone does not guarantee a rewarding and fulfilling relationship. There are other considerations which I have shared with you about compatibility in the first 4 principles that we shared. They must be carefully evaluated before people should marry. Basically, a healthy courtship requires a balancing act between expressing passionate love and making sound decisions. So our quote for today is the lyric from Addicted to Love, Robert Palmer. Your mind is not your own. Your heart sweats, your body shakes. Another kiss is all it takes. Might as well face it, you're addicted to love. If this video has added value, please subscribe, like, and share. Until we meet again, go with love.